Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. You're welcome to the first virtual African Food Research Network Summit. And it's a pleasure to have every one of us here today. We appreciate the fact that everything you need to know about AfREN, the history of AfREN, and every other details you have to know can be found on our network, on our website, www.afrennet.org. We are a growing community of practice, and we are committed to growing together and helping others. We are not affiliated to any institution at the moment, but we have a community of different people, researchers, professionals, agribusiness owners, and different people coming together, committed to one cause. And for this summit, we hope and we believe that you're going to have an enlightening session, and you're going to enjoy the most of your time. So let me quickly move on to introducing our special guest of honor for today's summit. First on the list we have Professor Charles Awo, the President of International Academy of Food Science and Technology. And Dr. Dalla, I would like to confirm if he is already on the... Okay, yes, he's here with us. So Professor Charles Awo is the President of International Academy of Food Science and Technology, and is a distinguished professor at Flour Mills Food Research Center, Department of Food Technology, University of Ibadan, Nigeria. And he's actually right here with us. We would love for you to give us a goodwill message, sir.
Thank you very much. Indeed, greatly honored to be amongst you today. Of course, the African Food Research Network is indeed very dear to me. I believe you are doing a fantastic job, and I believe you need every encouragement and support. And for me, this virtual summit on open lab and agile methodologies in sustainable food systems in Africa, I think is quite topical. I will try to spend as much time as I can with you, because I'm sure it's going to be a learning process for me as well. But I must say that we live in a world in which, of course, it's now all about skills, what you have and what you can bring into the mix. So clearly, in our profession of food science and technology, the critical skills that are needed are indeed changing. What will apply to my days as a graduate student at Cornell University in the 70s are still very much relevant today. Those skills acquired are still very much relevant today. But of course, there are also, if one must be honest, if you rely just exclusively on those skills, you will be completely out of place and out of date. So that's why it's important that we all work towards acquiring new skills. So this open lab, I'm sure that we will all take full advantage of it. ICT, digital technology, machine learning, artificial intelligence, these are all now with us. And apart from the fundamental skills that you must have in food processing, preservation, food safety, food engineering, whatever, if you don't if you are not able to operate in this new milieu, then you will really face challenges. So I think it is a very, very useful virtual meeting. I hope we will build on it. And of course, I just want to end by again encouraging you to be more active in the International Union of Food Science and Technology, which is the global voice of food science and technology, an amalgamation of national food research association and institutes, as well as regional bodies. So there are well over 100 countries represented in the International Union of Food Science and Technology, with a membership of well over 300,000. And of course, the future belongs to young academics. So we have a very virile college of early career scientists, of which, well, we have a good African representation, but I think we can even do better because, like I said, the future belongs to you guys that I'm seeing here. So the 22nd World Food Congress will be holding in Rimini, Italy, from the 8th to the 12th of September. So it's really around the corner. Registration is still open. You can still be a part of it. And really, we make every provision to, as much as possible, support young scientists from developing countries, because Africa and other places, because we know the challenges that we are facing. So I want to encourage you to be an active member of IUFOST. The World Food Congresses are held every 2 years. Of course, the next one for 2026 is scheduled to hold in Taiwan. And the 2028 Congress will be decided when we meet in Rimini. There are already bids for it. The first time we met in Africa was in 2010 in South Africa. So I'm looking forward to another meeting of IUFOST, again in my own lifetime, that will be in Africa. But it's not very easy to organize. There are fillers of meeting that holding perhaps in the next maybe 4 years or even earlier, perhaps in North Africa and the Mediterranean, those parts of the world. But talking about mainstream Africa, again, we need to plan so that we can, again, like I said, host the World Food Congress. To underscore the importance of this meeting, I want to just draw attention to the session that will be hosted by the International Academy of Food Science and Technology, that as have been introduced, that I happen to be the president now. That special session of IUFOST that will come up in the World Food Congress in Rimini is titled Nutritious and Safe Food for All, that is 8 billion mouths, through novel food sources, plant-based alternatives, new applications, and reduction of food loss and waste. And there are 4 speakers that will be involved. I'll be chairing the session. But for this particular meeting, I just want to draw attention, just like I said, to one of the topics that will be delivered by Professor Shim-Kong Wang from Taiwan. He's a fellow of the Academy. And we'll be talking about the application of artificial intelligence to nutritional improvement and food fortification. Just to draw the point that we are now in an era where machine learning, artificial intelligence, ICT, digitalization is the order of the day, and we must acquire skills in those areas. So with that, it is indeed my honor and privilege to give this goodwill message to you as we look forward to a most successful virtual meeting. Thank you very much.
thank you very much, Prof, for the goodwill message. I really appreciate you, and we appreciate your presence at this summit today. Thank you once again, Prof. And on our list of special guests, we have Professor Joseph Oneabu, the president of Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, NIPST. He's also a professor of food science and technology at the Joseph Sawan Technical University, that's formerly University of Agriculture, Makurdi. He's a former head of Department of Food Science and Technology at University of Agriculture, Makurdi, and also a former dean, Faculty of Food Technology and Human Ecology, also at the University of Agriculture, Makurdi. And today we welcome you on board about this virtual summit, and we would like you also to give us your goodwill message for the summit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much I hope you can hear me.
Very well, sir.
Yes, sir. I just want to begin by thanking the Executive Director of AfREN, Dola Adeboye. Dola over the years has been one of our very shining examples in the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, provided a lot of quality service for that institute. And so every time he invites me for any function, I'm always delighted to try to be part of it because he's a trailblazer. And I'm delighted even by just looking at the names that are so listed, that we have quite a number of excellent academics, excellent participants in the field of food science and technology. And indeed, like our daddy, our president of IU Fost, FIA Fost, just mentioned, the future belongs to you. And we hope that beyond, participation at this kind of virtual meetings, just like he encouraged you to be part of IU Fost, that you will also, roll up your sleeve and be more active in the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, which remains the largest gathering of professionals in the whole of Africa. We hope that by your participation, active participation that is, that we derive a lot more benefits. If Nigeria is fixed, we know that Africa will be fixed. And globally, the issues that are at stake will be addressed. So while encouraging you to be part of the international IU Fost gathering and others, I'd like us to also begin our charity at home by participating actively. NIPS as a body would like to continue to work with AfREN because reading through your mission and vision, it tends to align largely with what NIPS established 48 years ago in 1976 is been striving over the years to achieve. And let me say for those who may not be Nigerians but are on the AfREN platform, that NIPS is open for your participation. In fact, last year, the Vice Chancellor from the University in Sierra Leone flew all the way to Umuahia and was inducted as a member, along with so many other members. So you may wish to join us. Belonging to multiple platforms can never be a disadvantage. Well, maybe financially in terms of commitment, but you can never balance that with the kind of knowledge that you may be exposed to, the collaboration, the opportunities for partnership. So I will encourage us to continue to be as active as possible. And on behalf of the Institute, I'd like to send very warm greetings from Munich in Germany. Just like Prof advised, we are trying to also brush up our skills by constantly seeking knowledge. So currently I'm in Germany for a brief research stay because we know that over time things are evolving. As they evolve, if we do not try to catch up, then we will become irrelevant and will be left behind. So on behalf of the Institute, I would like to wish all of us a very productive meeting. And in case you don't see me, it's because of other engagements in the course of the meeting, but I'll be popping in and out. And I hope, very importantly, that we'll receive the summary of your deliberations. Once again, I thank all of you, and I invite you also to join us in the 48th annual conference that will be holding later in the year in October in Kano, Nigeria. As many of you that can come, you'll be most welcome. Thank you and best wishes.
We appreciate your presence at the summit. Yeah. All right. Also, we have the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology. He's a professor of food science and technology at Centennial College, Ontario, Canada. He's a member of the Canadian Institute of Food Science and Technology, CIFST, and also a member of the Institute of Food Science and Technology, UK, that's IFST, and also the Ontario Food Protection Association, OFPA. So let us welcome Professor Kayode Oduse as he gives us a goodwill message for the summit.
Thank you very much, Jimoke. Good morning, everyone. As rightly introduced, my name is Kayode Oduse. So I bring greetings from Ontario, Canada. So I've known Dr. Dollar for about 20 years now. So, I mean, he has been very active, as rightly mentioned by Professor Joseph One, so which is something to do with NIFS at the time in Nigeria. So I feel very delighted, to be part of this, because I know it brings excellence, in everything he's engaged with. So on this summit, I'm really particularly impressed because this is something to do with Africa. So yes, I don't currently reside in Africa, but of course, I remain a Nigerian and I remain an African, wherever I so decide to live. So this is a time that I think every one of us, in the practice of food science, academia, food industry, or business owners in agri-businesses needs to really start to evolve, as mentioned previously by my super seniors, I call them. Professor Howard is here. I remember back then at the University of Ibadan. So it's one of those, you hear their name and you're like, okay, yeah, these are people you want to be like in future, So, right. So a lot of tools, a lot of resources. Evolution is not just around the world. It's definitely with us in food science. So, and everything about food science always excites me because as an individual, all my qualifications, everything I've done in my life in terms of training and learning has been within the area of food science, diploma, bachelor's, master's, PhD, all in food science. So it is always interesting for me to engage in any conversation around topics around food science. So this African Food Research Network, I believe is a great thing, and I'm really happy to be part of it, even as a special guest. But I hope to, continue to engage with the group in whatever capacity that, is presented to me. So I believe this is a good opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for collaboration, and as we can see here, based on the topic we have today, emerging topics, to be discussed, open lab and agile methodologies. So these are areas, indeed, as rightly mentioned by Professor Howard, that we need to start to look at. AI, I've gone through the the list of the things that we have to do today. I saw some of the topics for the presentation. I saw the use of AI, food safety and all that. So that's impressive. So indeed, I'm particularly looking forward to hearing some of these presentations and see, so learning is continuous. So for me, obviously, I'm still an active practitioner. So I'm not obviously living the scene in perhaps 15 years. So I'm really very much involved, and I need to obviously see what is going on and adapt as we evolve. So generally speaking, I'm just really happy to be here. I see we are discussing topics that are really important, to developing the skills of an average African, in the sense that when you look at, the global space, sometimes you realize that we have fewer African representation. I see that all the time. So with this, knowing and being abreast with the happenings globally, because we can't be isolated from the rest of the world. If the rest of the world is moving, then we need to move with them because we see that happening in our continent, so we are always very slow to react. So this is brilliant. This is a brilliant idea. And I'm impressed that, there are representatives from different parts of Africa. So yes, I know Dr. Dola is a Nigerian, but he has done a great work by, attracting, brilliant minds, from other parts of Africa. So this is quite impressive. So as a person, I'm really looking forward to seeing, young African researchers in the area of food science really coming up the ranks and, getting that presence, in the global space. We are happy to see Professor Howard, the president of International Academy of Food Science. So this is a global it's a global organization, so that's great. So we want more faces, we want more representation. So in all, I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Dr. Dola, for this invitation. And I really look forward to listening to the rest of the presentation. And I wish us a good summit this morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you once again.
Hey, thank you very much, Professor Duche, and we appreciate your presence here as well. Right about now, we are moving back to the welcoming the chief host for his welcome address and bring us.
Thank you very much, Bimbola. I stand on existing protocol in the interest of time. It's an honor to welcome you all to our inaugural summit organized by the Relentless 2024 Summit Committee of AfREN. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we gather to explore the theme, Open Lab and Agile Methodologies in Sustainable Food Systems in Africa. We are living in the age of agile technology, a time when flexibility, collaboration, and rapid iteration are not just buzzwords, but they are essential practices that drive successes across industries. So as agri-food professionals, we cannot afford to be left out. Agile technology empowers us to respond swiftly to challenges, seize opportunities, and continuously improve our processes and products. At AfREN, we are committed to fostering an environment where these agile terms will not be alien to us. So by sharing knowledge, resources, and opportunities, we can collectively advance and situate our industry for demand-driven sustainable development of food systems, not just in Africa, but Africa to the rest of the world. Thank you for being here. I wish you all a productive and inspiring summit. Thank you very much. Good morning from here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dola Deboye, for that welcome remarks. And I also stand on existing protocols, Prof. Awo and the previous speakers. Good morning from South Africa. My name is Tony Onipe Marshall. And right about now, I'll be welcoming Dr. Helen for, she's the summit chair, and I'll be welcoming her to take us further.
Good morning or good afternoon or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I'm joining from the United States, so it's very early in the morning. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the maiden virtual mini conference of the African Food Research Network, AfREN. I am Dr. Helen Onyaka, and I'm honored to serve as a chair for this significant event. Firstly, let me extend a warm welcome to all our special guests of honor, distinguished speakers, participants. Your presence here today underscores the importance of our collective mission to advance sustainable food systems in Africa. Today's conference, themed Open Lab and Agile Methodologies for Sustainable Food Systems in Africa, is designed to bring us together, food research scientists, entrepreneurs, policymakers, funding grants, and also patent experts from across the continent. This platform will enable us to share knowledge, explore new innovative ideas, forge meaningful partnership that will drive impactful change. We also have the privilege of Dr. Olumide Odeyemi, who will be delivering the keynote speech today. And he's going to be highlighting the critical role of collaboration between research and business solutions, the application of agile skills, and the significance of access to funding and patents in advancing food research and business outcomes. Also, in addition to our keynote address, we'll feature a series of short presentations, which I can't even wait to listen to, where participants will showcase their enterprise products, food research studies. This is a very, very amazing and excellent opportunity for every one of us to engage with these innovative ideas and groundbreaking research. I would like to take this moment to thank all our speakers, all our participants, the organizing committees. They've done quite excellent work, and their dedication in making this conference a reality. So all your contributions are invaluable, and we look forward to a day filled with insightful discussion and productive engagements, and most importantly, collaborations. It's quite important that we collaborate with one another. With that, I am delighted to declare this conference open. Let us embark on this journey together, exploring the vast possibilities that lie ahead in creating sustainable food systems in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm standing in for Abimbola, who is unavoidably caught up by the drama of network in our area. Okay. We would like to offer special thank you to all those who put this summit together. Yeah, your effort is much appreciated. our keynote speaker is unavoidably absent at this material time. He just sent a message that there was a development that he needed to address and can't wait. But let me do the honors of reading his citation so that we don't have to do that when he joins us. Dr. Olumide Odeyemi is an accomplished research support specialist and multidisciplinary researcher with extensive experience in the research ecosystem, a working knowledge of national and international funding, legislations, and regulations governing the conduct of research. So you can see that we chose the right person for the job. His expertise spans research and development, research impact and engagement, industry collaboration, grant development, project costing and pricing, research integrity, and identifying funding opportunities. We're hoping that some of our presenters today might have some insights to gain from him in terms of advancing their cause, their career and interest. In recognition of the outstanding contribution of our keynote speaker, he was listed among the world's top 2% scientists in microbiology and food science in both 2021 and 2023. His exceptional contributions have been recognized as a co-recipient of the Vice Chancellor's Service Excellence Award and Research Division Service Excellence Award 2021. As a research support specialist, Dr. Odeyemi has provided invaluable assistance to researchers contributing to over 250 grants applicants with a combined value of more than $300 million. These applications have been submitted to over 150 funding bodies. This shows that we indeed have eggheads in terms of research funding in our midst. He will soon join us, and when he does, he will take his keynote address. For now, I'd like to hand over to Dr. Samson Yinka to take us further through the proceeding.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to I welcome everyone once again to our 2024 AfREN Summit. Now we will be taking the technical session, and the first set of presentation, we have 5 people. We are going to be hearing from Ndieze Chidienyinaya. He's from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and he will be talking to us on the relevance of food engineering in food systems. After which we will be taking Abubakar Kabir Ahmed. He's from Aliko Dangote University of Science and Technology, Wudi, Kano, Nigeria. And he'll be speaking to us on blockchain resolution transforming African food system for a sustainable future. Then we'll be having Chinenye Ogechiduru from Brigham University, Nasarawa State, also in Nigeria, who will speak to us on AI in food sustainability. Then we'll take Samuel Nsikan Akpan from Wageningen University and Research in Netherlands. He'll be speaking to us on integrating social and metagenomic approach to safer and sustainable bushmeat food system in Lagos, Nigeria. And finally, for this session, we'll hear from Aleke Job Chinagorom, who will be speaking to us on AI at the forefront of food safety. He's from University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Thank you very much. While I call on our first speaker for today, Ndieze Chidienyinaya. You can share your screen if you wish to do so. The floor is yours now. Thank you very much. And you have 5 minutes to present what you have for us to learn and hear from. Thank you very much.
All right. I'm talking on relevance of food engineering in food systems. So I'm a student of Federal University of Technology, and I'm studying food science and technology. So my study is based on food engineering. And then most people know that food engineering is basically the application of engineering principles in the processing and production of food and also the preservation of food. So the principle relies on heat transfer, mass transfer, thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, and separation processes. So I'm basically speaking on the design of separation processes that are being utilized in the processing of food. And my focus is on evaporation, which is a very, very important unit of operation and separation process technology that is used in the manufacturing of many food products like fruit concentrates, tomato paste, and many other food products. So the principle of evaporation is based on the evaporator, which is an equipment, which is a process equipment that is used in removing moisture from food products, because moisture is basically responsible for the increased microbial growth. So basically evaporation helps in the regulation of the microbial stability of many food products. So evaporation is basically the removal of moisture, and the moisture content is basically removed through the application of heat, through heat transfer. So I'm basically talking about the evaporator, which has a heat exchanger and section, and also has pipes. So steam is basically introduced into the evaporator, and the steam and the feed doesn't mix. The steam and the feed doesn't mix. The steam basically, the steam only has contact with the feed through conductive heat transfer, so which removes and evaporates most of the water content from the food products. So important unit of we also have membrane separation, sedimentation, centrifugation, flotation, and many others. So this separation process, the design of separation process is very important in food systems, simply because they are one of the factors that are responsible in food processing. So that's all I have to present today.
Thank you very much, Chidi, for your presentation. And I hope the audio for other participants is now working, because we got some complaints that they couldn't hear you very well. Thank you very much. While I call on the next presenter, Abubakar Gabriel Adams.
Yes, Mama.
You have the floor.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abubakar.
Good morning.
Gabriel. I'm currently speaking from India, that is Hyderabad. I'm here to present a topic on blockchain revolution, transforming Africa's food system for a sustainable future. So before we go deep into the main aspect of the topic, that is blockchain revolution, we need to take an overview on the present situation of Africa's food system. 20 to 25 years ago, and current situation, we witnessed a transformation in agricultural sector or food system generally, but still there are some other challenges that are manifesting toward exacerbating the level of food insecurity in African countries. And some of these common challenges include the climate change, mostly in Sahel countries, conflicts in Sudan and other African countries, post-harvest losses, and low mechanized productivity. All these challenges are part of the factors that are increasing the level of food insecurity in Africa. So in this case, we need to take an overview, or we need to take a look on how to develop or how to utilize a new idea or a novel idea in order to reduce the excess of food insecurity in African countries, especially with the rise in population, as it was estimated that by the year 2050, the African continent will have over 2.5 billion populations. So in this case, I'm presenting blockchain technology, which is a promising technology that come into action in order to address some of these common challenges. And why do we need blockchain technology is to ensure sustainability in our food system, to ensure efficiency and also safety of our final food products. Blockchain technology has some certain benefit over other traditional technologies, mostly in terms of transparency, trust, and other common features, which is beneficial when compared to other traditional technologies. Africa also witnessed some progress, especially in terms of available blockchain technology like FarmShine, IBM Food Trust, Food Logic, and the method of this application of blockchain technology as it was described here for food traceability information system. There's no time, I cannot be able to describe the whole system, but it means that we can be able to trace our food system from farm to final consumer. So still, as I said, there are some limitations, especially for these available technologies also, because most of the African countries are having lack in technological infrastructure. There are so many countries where still there is no access to networks. Also, the cost considerations for utilization of this technology is also high, and also operational practicability. Therefore, in order to address these challenges and also ensure that our food system increase, therefore, government interventions need to take action, especially for providing incentives, and also industrial revolution, where most of the food industry need to adopt this idea in order to ensure that Africa gain a transformative idea of ensuring that the food system in Africa gain more relevance in the world. Because I know that most of the food product exported to other international countries, especially in the market, lack some integrity, especially in terms of specification, quality checks, and other things. So therefore, by utilizing this application or this technology, it will increase the diversity and also it will increase the prospect of our food products. And the future outlook of this technology shows that there will be an improvement in efficiency of our food system by 40% in coming years. Also, there will be a cost reduction in terms of our food available product. Also, the market access will reach up to 20% and also 10% regulatory compliance. Therefore, lastly, I would like to conclude by saying that the potential of blockchain technology to revolutionize Africa's food system is undeniable. Therefore, let us seize this opportunity to lead the change in technological adoption, fostering a robust and secure food system that can feed future generations. Thank you all. Thank you for this wonderful time I have for this presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abubakar, for that very, very intelligent presentation. I know our judges are on standby, doing justice to all these new innovations that we have been learning this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have the honor of calling on our tech speaker, Chinenye Ogechiduru, who will be speaking to us on AI in food sustainability.
My name is Chinenye Ogechiduru from Bingham University, National State, and my topic is AI in food sustainability. Please, can everyone hear me?
Please go ahead.
Yes. All right, fine. We can all agree that AI have really played a huge role in every sector, ranging from health, agriculture, business today, and it have really helped the sustainable development goals to work very effectively. However, having AI for food sustainability, you have to put it from the production stage, the processing, the distribution, and the consumption part. Please, can you help me with the next slide? Yeah, and even. Please, the next slide. Thank you. If we look at the immense increase in the world population today, you will know that human strength cannot do some things using the conventional method. However, using the AI makes it very, very easy. Now we have the predictive ways that enhance the crop resilience. You look at, using AI to predict weather, where the farmer can use this predictive agriculture method, even using the AI automated robotic, AI automated drone for cultivation, even to check automated irrigation to help reduce water and know when plants need water. Today, AI is also used to dictate, to check the plant's health, which is very, very essential. Then when you look at the processing method, in different processing plants today, people use AI to make it easy. Either is AI automated robotics to make it easy, because human strength at a point can fail, and the efficiency in AI makes it very, very good for production line to be fast. And when it comes to the distribution aspect, using algorithm, you can know the product demand based on the trend and know the ones that you focus on, and also based on the issues around there. However, when we look at the consumption pattern, you notice that AI have made precision nutrition very, very effective, where people can know the tailored diets to take, and this also help in reducing malnutrition and also morbidity and mortality. In conclusion, I would like to say today, artificial intelligence is being applied in agriculture, health, nutrition, with great improvement in these various sectors, and with the increase in population, artificial intelligence will be used will be the most effective approach to create a sustainable food in the population. I still have time. Okay, still in the AI and food sustainability, to create an effective food system, it will be applied from the production state down to the consumer state, whereby making everybody involved in this chain to apply AI to in one aspect or the other, either using the AI automated robotics or using the automated drone, either in planting, either in logistic, delivering this product directly to people in different areas. It could be people that are in IDP camp or different places, but don't have accessibility to this food item. So it helps to make every food sector effective. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to this presentation.
Thank you, Chinenye Ogechiduru, for that brilliant presentation. Mr. Akpan, can we hear your presentation on integrating social and metagenomic approaches for safer and sustainable bushmeat food system in Lagos? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, depending on your time. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Infectious diseases, Redeemers University, Nigeria. I'm also a PhD candidate at the Wageningen University, the Netherlands. I want to talk about integrating social approaches and metagenomic analysis for a safe and sustainable bushmeat food system in Lagos, Nigeria. So, like we all know, the bushmeat is an informal food system, and it has lasted from time immemorial. However, it is yet to be formally regarded as a food system, just like what would have in, say, livestock and crops. And then in the wake of this epidemics such as COVID-19 and monkeypox and the rest of them, bushmeat has food safety concerns, and it may pose health risks to humans. So hence, metagenomic technology and social approaches may aid better understanding of the health risk in terms of food safety of the bushmeat food system to also inform sustainable interventions. So what would be the specific objectives of this study? This is actually an ongoing study that I'm carrying out. It's to assess the knowledge and perceptions of food safety risk and sustainability among bushmeat actors in the market. That's I'm referring to hunters, processors, retailers, and the consumers. It's also to detect pathogens through metagenomic sequencing of bushmeat samples, and also to perform bushmeat speciation using the phylogenetic analysis. This is an example to your right. This is an example of it's called Novasec 6000, one of the latest technologies that is used for sequencing. So what are the methodologies? This is, you have the entire food value chain here, from hunting to wholesalers to processing, retail, and then there are sampling of the bushmeats and then sampling of human beings. So this is actually what we will call a One Health approach. And then we sample humans, and then from the data, what we'll do is a thematic analysis of the data, and then from the bushmeat samples, we would carry out 3 steps, which is high resolution melt analysis of the bushmeat samples. We'll also carry out viral metagenomics using the Nextera protocol. And then lastly, for the bacterial food pathogens, we'll do the 16S microbiome bacterial sequencing. And then at the end of the day, we'll be able to disseminate the result. You can see here that SDGs 15, 3, SDG 3, SDG 1, and then SDG 2 is covered in this whole process. Because at the end of the day, evidence-based data obtained from these approaches will help influence behavior changes among hunters, traders, and and the consumers in the Lagos bushmeat value chain. Risk modeling and speciation will also aid in risk communication, which will improve food safety and biodiversity conservation. Don't forget, even as we are looking towards food safety and nutrition, we also have to be thinking about our planetary health. We also have to be thinking about environmental health, because health for one or sickness for one is sickness for all, and health for one is sickness for all. So as we're ensuring this approach, we're also trying to see that the environment is also covered, human health is covered, and animal welfare is covered. So we also intend also that this would cover SDGs 1. SDG 1 is specifically referring to no poverty, because the wild meat food system provides livelihoods for those that are involved. SDG 2 talks about zero hunger, because these processes ensure that bushmeat is readily available for all. There are also concerns, there are also ideas about how to use the CRISPR technologies for gene editing to ensure that we input desirable genes into certain species, because farming wildlife in the bush and the forest like we are doing now may not be sustainable. So we may have to eventually farm wildlife. And if we do this, we might have to use the CRISPR technology to ensure that we put in some genes that could have to, like desirable genes, into some of these animals for increased production. So SDGs 1 is covered, SDGs 2 is covered, and then SDG 3 will talk about good health and well-being for human beings that consume the wild meat, so that they will not get infected with infectious pathogens like the COVID-19 and the monkeypox that we keep talking about. And then SDG 15 talks about life on land. While doing this, will also ensure that there is wildlife conservation, forest conservation, and everyone is happy. The environment is happy, the planet is happy, and everything goes as planned. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel, for that very brilliant presentation. I hope we all listened and are making our jottings, so that when it's time we can ask our questions. Thank you so much.
Dr. Beatrice, I sent you a WhatsApp.
All right, I'll check.
And it's chat, yeah. Yeah, so
okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our keynote speaker back. And so I think it's just smart that we have him to quickly deliver his keynote address. Yeah. The floor is yours, Dr. Olumide.
All right. Thanks very much for the opportunity given to me to be in your midst tonight. Sorry, it's quite a bit late here in Australia, and I have to juggle 2 meetings together. So sorry for that, and I will not be able to stay too long too. So as to continue with the other meeting, I have to anchor for 30 minutes and then rush down here. Sorry for that. So I will share my slide shortly. All right. Can you see my slide, please?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I will briefly talk on the topic you can see there, so that we can all just see what we can do together. And most importantly, the special guest, the 3 special guests have spoken, and by virtue of their knowledge, their experience, I think they've covered what I could say possibly I need to talk about. But then let's see a few things that I can still add to what they have said. So I will be talking on this, and I will quickly cover these 3 areas, talking about importance of collaboration, and also agile skills and access to funding and patents. Now, when we talk of collaboration, I will be using my personal experience to explain what we can benefit when it comes to the combination of research and business solution to solve food related problems in our society. some years back when I did my PhD, at the start of my PhD, I needed to work with a company. And what brought about that was because the company was having a problem. We approached them as a university. We wanted them to supply sample for my research and to make it a bit kind of providing solution to their problem. So we asked what could be their solution. I wanted to work on Vibrio parahemolyticals then in seafood. So, but then they told us that, well, they don't actually have much problem with Vibrio parahemolyticals, which is true because of the kind of environment in Australia. When they farm seafood, it has to be a pristine environment. The water is not where you have anthropogenic activities. It has to be in a distant way from where people are. So by virtue of that, they believe that, well, their water is safe. There's no issue with pathogenic organism affecting their product. But then they have a problem because they do sell their product in Southeast Asia, China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and so on like that. So they discovered that the shelf life of their product was reduced from 10 to 7 days, and they are live seafood. So they were wondering what could be the cause of the problem, the shelf life reducing. So that became the basis of my PhD. So my PhD was to understand the microbial spoilage mechanism of, the spoilage mechanism of modified atmosphere package mussel. So to look at what is going on within that product and then provide solution to that problem. As at that time, they told us that they've lost about $2 million, due to that reduced shelf life. So I started the research. So the first thing was to identify why their products had a reduced shelf life. So to do that, I collected sample from them, and then the one they've packaged, and they gave me the raw sample. So I took those samples back to the lab, packaged my own sample, and then with their own sample, I started doing the comparison. Now, normally the package is supposed to have oxygen because the animals are alive, the seafood are alive. So there's a level of oxygen that will be suitable for them. So when I tested the oxygen level was actually around 40%. So if the oxygen level was 40% on the day it was packaged, then I monitored it subsequently and discovered that the rate at which the oxygen reduces was very high because the animals are alive. Once they package them and you had the oxygen, what happened is because they're active, they consume more of the oxygen, and the oxygen depletion just increases like that. So that was the first problem, reduce oxygen. So to solve that problem, they need to increase the oxygen. So I did the experiments, increase the oxygen level with my own products, and then we did the comparison, and that solved the first problem. So the second problem was, once you open the pack, after a few days, you start perceiving some foul smell, terrible smell. So I wonder what could be the cause. And for me to know the cause, I have to do what we call checking for the volatile organic compound, and then looking at the spoilage compound and the freshness compound. So I did that, and then I was able to identify what that is. But then what could be the cause? The cause of that smell was because once the oxygen level reduces, the animals begin to die. And once they die, they create a kind of biological medium wherein more of the bacteria in that package or product is now increased. So I was able to identify that. The third thing I did was to identify what was the responsible spoilage microorganism in that product. So I have to use metagenomics, like the last presenter I've just said. So I have to use metagenomics, did the sequencing, and at the end of the day, I was able to identify the culprit, which is Shewonella baltica. Shewonella baltica is an organism that grows at a very low temperature. So at 4 degrees, Shewonella grows very well. So I was able to identify that. However, how am I sure that Shewonella baltica was the cause of the spoilage? So I have to use postulate, where I have to inoculate the product and then see what happened. So I have to go through that. What I did was to use the sterile product and then inoculated the spoilage microorganism and then monitor the spoilage and compare it with what I have before. And I was able to identify that. So from what I've just explained to us, we could see the importance of collaboration between the academia and the industry if we're going to provide solution to food related problem in our society. But if we work in isolation, if our goal as researcher or academics is just to produce paper, that may not help us on the long run. There should be a kind of nexus, a kind of collaboration, a kind of networking between the industry and the academia so as to solve problem. Though I understood the fact that where I'm residing is quite different from Africa, where companies have been made to believe that the universities are there to solve your problem. So you just need to bring your problem to them, or they come to you. and then they can help you to solve their problem. And they pay for it. We call it contract research. They can hire the university to help them solve their problem under certain condition, possibly non-disclosure agreements, NDA, where the secrets about the product will not be disclosed to anyone outside the agreement. So that is very, very important when it comes to being able to provide solution to food-related problem in our society. So the networking, the collaboration between the industry and the academy. Onto where things are changing on a fast pace. It's not like what it was a few years back. So it's very, very important. I will also cite my past back. I was trained as a microbiologist. I'm still a microbiologist. But then I look at it that if you are going to make impact in this world as a whole, you must go beyond the normal laboratory research that we are trained to do. And therefore, I combine social sciences skills. So I have to learn how to do qualitative study, how to design questionnaire, how to carry out, quantitative study, interview, and so on like that. And also some software, I have to go and learn how to make use of them in order to fit in. So that makes me a kind of multidisciplinary researcher. So I can fit in within the one Earth, ecosystem where I can operate within the health, I can operate within natural sciences, I can operate within the life sciences. This is not to self-promote what I do, but I'm just telling us that we're in the 21st century, we should go beyond the basic laboratory, experimentation that we are used to. We need to move on, acquire new skills, acquire new technological skills, soft skills, art skills, acquire all those ones that will help us to be able to solve problem. Data analysis skill. Data analysis have gone far beyond statistical analysis. What many of us know is just statistical analysis, doing ANOVA and so on. But the whole thing have moved beyond that. Now you have data analysis where you can use data to find out what the problem is and then provide solution to the problem and so on and so forth like that. So agile skills enhance our ability to manage projects effectively, adapt to changes quickly, and also continuously deliver value to customers. So it's very important if we're going to maintain a very good relationship with industry and provide solution to the problem of this food-related industry and even in the society, then we need to upskill. So what are the pillars of Agile? One, individuals and interaction over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, collaboration, responding to change. So as researchers, we need to change with the system. We should not remain static. A researcher should be dynamic. You change along with the system. You acquire necessary skill. Over time, there are some discipline that will fade away, even possibly in life sciences, because technology will replace all those things. So what are those agile skills that we need? Understanding agile principle, we can acquire the skills about project management, using story to tell what we do, and continuous learning and improvement, facilitating and coaching, collaboration, communication, adaptation, and also flexibility. We should not. This is the period we should be flexible. COVID have taught the nations of the world how to be flexible. Now you have workplaces that you can work 2 days from home, 3 days in the office, which was not possible before. So all these are things that we need to upskills ourselves, acquire new skills, retrained, unlearn, learn new things so as to fit in to the century that we have. And then the last thing I will quickly talk about is accessing funding. Now, for some of these things to be done, we need funding. You can't do a good research for a long period of time without having the source of money coming in. So it's very important we also go into that, and sources of funding could be from government, not for-profit organization, and so on like that. So as researchers, we need to upskill, acquire the skill on how to write a good proposal that can help us to get carry out our research, approaching industry on what we can offer. If they provide money, this is what money you can bring to the organization, how the organization can be, their performance can be improved on as far as your knowledge is concerned. You sell your knowledge to them, and then this is determined because it doesn't come on a platter of gold. Prepare ahead of time, spread your tentacles, be a good record keeper of what you are achieving over time, because all these things will matter on the long run. And then funding review, when you apply for funding, this is just to give us an idea of what the review process is all about. Having reviewed over 300 grant applications in the past 3 years, budgeted over 300 million. So you have call for application or expression of interest where a funding organization opens the application and asks people to send even a short note of what they can do, and then they will assess all those short notes, so to say, and those that they deem fit for them to fund, they will ask them to go and develop the proposal and then submit the application. That is a process. Then after they've submitted all the application, there will be a kind of initial review of application, which at that time, some may be rejected or accepted. And then there will be identification of reviewers, those who will review the application in full, and then they can eventually score all the various criteria and then provide the score, and then it will be announced at the end of the day. All right, thanks very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Doc. I think you should just hang around with us for as maybe 2 minutes or 1 minute. If anyone has a question, they will put it in the chat box. Otherwise, we appreciate your presence at this time. But yeah, you just forgive us. We have to move on with the presentation because we were neck deep in it before you had to come back. And we understand, no problem. We understand that you have to do some other stuff. All right, so Dr. Beatrice, shall we continue, please? Thank you.
Okay. All right, sir. A big thank you to our keynote speaker. Very, very educating and inspirational presentation. So the last but not the least on this group is Mr. Aleke Job Chinagorom from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and he will be talking to us on AI at the forefront of food safety. Mr. Aleke, the floor is yours. Your time starts counting. Thank you.
My name is Aleke Job Chinagoram, MSc student, food microbiology in UNM. So, and I'll be talking on the theme AI at the forefront of food safety. Food safety is a critical aspect of public health. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, an estimated 600 million people fall ill after consuming contaminated food each year, resulting to around 420,000 deaths. One of the most significant concerns in food safety is microbial contamination, with pathogens such as Escherichia coli, Salmonella, and Listeria monocytogenes and so forth being common culprits. In US alone, Salmonella is responsible for approximately 1.35 million infections. Now, in recent years, AI has emerged as a powerful tool in addressing these challenges. AI in food safety contributes directly to the SDG goal number 2 by preventing contamination and ensuring that food supplies are safe and reliable, thereby enhancing food security. Now, artificial intelligence plays various roles in food safety, one of them being real-time monitoring. Real-time monitoring enables continuous observation of food production processes, environmental conditions, and supply chains. A good example is the use of AI-powered Internet of Things devices that comprises of data sharing. And for instance, companies like Twiga Foods in Kenya have been using this tech where they use it to manage logistics and supply of fresh produce to urban markets. These sensors monitor environmental conditions like temperature and humidity during transportation and spoilage, respectively, during transportation and storage. Now, another role of AI in food safety is early detection. Early detection is crucial in preventing foodborne illnesses. AI systems excel at analyzing vast amounts of data to identifying potential hazards before they cause harm. In Nigeria specifically, AI-driven tech like the popular MX Hero platform is used in detecting water and soil contaminants. And we know that water and soil contaminants are critical sources of foodborne illnesses. The next role of AI here is under predictive analytics. They make use of historical and real-time data to forecast potential food safety risks. AI can predict where and when contamination can occur. Another one I have here, because of time, is automated inspections. Traditional inspections often rely on manual processes. They are often time-consuming and are prone to human error. In contrast, however, AI-driven automated inspections use machine learning algorithms, computer vision, and robotics to perform thorough checks on food products and production facilities. Next slide, please, sir. Okay. Next, I'll be talking about advanced AI techniques for detection and prevention. When we talk of IoT, it means network of physical objects embedded with software and other techniques for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data. Maybe a layman example is the WhatsApp that most of us use. In food safety, IoT devices are equipped with a variety of sensors that monitor critical parameters like the temperature and humidity I already mentioned, pH levels, and even general gas composition. ML models are built by training algorithms on large data sets, which can include historical data on foodborne illnesses or even consumer feedback. Analyzing this past data, ML models can predict future contamination events. For example, they can forecast the likelihood of aflatoxin contamination in crops. let me quickly go to the benefits of AI in food safety. I'm already running out of time. The first here is improved accuracy and speed. Of course, traditional methods of detecting contaminants can be time-consuming, and they're usually prone to human error. AI can analyze vast amounts of data quickly and precisely. The other two advantages here are the enhanced preventive measures and then cost savings and, of course, consumer confidence. In conclusion, we can build a more resilient and sustainable food safety infrastructure that benefits everyone by integrating AI and food safety. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for that session. And can I thank Dr. Beatrice for coordinating and anchoring this session? I want to believe every one of us are having a very good time and a fantastic moment during this AfREN Virtual Summit, which is to shape the future of African food research. Want to thank all the past speakers. We have looked at relevance of food engineering, food systems. We've also looked at blockchain revolution, transforming Africa's food systems for a sustainable future. We've also looked at AI in food sustainability, integrating social and metagenomic approach for safer, sustainable bushmeat food system in Lagos, Nigeria. And the last speaker looking at AI at the forefront of food safety. To all the speakers, thank you very much for your time and for your contribution to the body of knowledge. The floor is open. We've got about 5 presentations. If you have any question or interaction or maybe a comment regarding any of the presentation, like Dr. Dola mentioned, you might want to unmute yourself or probably drop something in the chat box and I can read that out and that can promote some discussion before the TISA session will then begin. So
I have a question, and before I ask, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has presented. It has been very insightful. Everything has been very amazing. My question is for Samuel, who presented about the use of metagenomic research in bushmeat farming. So considering that bushmeat farming in Nigeria is predominantly an informal sector, and we know that the farmers often rely on traditional methods, do you know of any research or any efforts that will be able to bridge that gap between advanced metagenomic research and the practical needs of our local bushmeat farmers? And then also, are there any low-cost or easy-to-use tools or methods that might have been derived from your research that can be directly implemented by these farmers? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dolapo. Yeah, so addressing the first question, that was actually what I talked about. I had said that using a CRISPR technology would also help with the farming of wild life, because we noticed that because it's an informal sector and then the hunting is not sustainable, so we cannot keep going into the forest to harvest. So it has to be for lovers of bushmeat. It has to be something that is farmed and probably sustainable. So as I speak to you now, within Nigeria, there is none. So that is why we are actually here. It's an innovation, something that we can go into. The CRISPR technology has not been applied in the aspect that I just talked about. So I just talked about a potential possibility, because the CRISPR technology normally is a technology that selectively modifies the DNA of organisms. So it can also be used to correct genetic variants. So we can also use it for production of more. So when we have maybe a male and a female, we can now see if we can breed them and then produce more. It will also help in terms of putting in genes there, genomes there that can help fight diseases easily, so that there will be more disease resistance and then produce more for consumption. Then in the last question that you asked, cheaper technologies. One of the side effects of AI, I'm sure we are yet to talk about that right now, for developing countries, is that adopting AI technologies for developing countries, AI is not cheap. It's expensive. So I expect that's one of the reasons why I'm attending this summit, because I want to hear from one of our maybe key speakers or something. But I do know that in the course of time, as more researches go on, AI can be subsidized, and then there will be newer ways of making it easily accessible. But for right now, accessing AI tools is going to be expensive, and even the genomic sequencing that we're talking about is on the high side. So most of the work we are doing now is actually funded. But with time, just the way we're having big television sets and now we have phones in our palms that we can watch anything, we are sure that AI is going to be like that too. The drones are going to be into something cheaper that farmers can easily access, but I believe it will just take a little bit more time and more research. Currently, we are in the right direction, and I'm hopeful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Samuel AfREN, for your response, and I believe that Dolapo's question has been answered. Oh, great stuff. So right about now, we want to start the second session. And like I said, everyone that will be presenting, we've got 5 minutes for presentation. Is that correct? Yes. So the first person presenting now, if you do have your slide with you, you can as well share your screen. But if you struggle to do that, I'm sure we would have somebody help you display that as quickly as possible.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Blessed Mercy, and this is my presentation. I'm a student, BSc student from Lagos State University of Education. And please, Dr. Zala, please play.
Hello, everybody. My name is Blessed Mercy, the creative director of SourcePort. SourcePort is an initiative that was birthed out of the need to provide healthy and organic alternatives for vegetables like fresh tomato and pepper in the Nigerian market, considering its unavailability and unaffordability. Our product offers sophistication and comfort. The SourcePort, amongst other variation of product, is readily available at a soup-like viscosity, and you simply need to put over your food and it's ready to eat. Isn't that amazing? We prefer solution to the current unavailability and cost of fresh pepper and tomato by providing ready-to-use and ready-to-eat sauce while still maintaining the nutritional quality and traditional taste of pepper and tomato sauce. Basically, we are bringing ease and comfort to everybody and every kitchen. The variations for our product include the SourcePort powder, the SourcePort cube, and the SourcePort sauce. So we are basically replacing fresh tomato and pepper with vegetables like cucumber, carrots, onions, and gourd. For the powder, we dry these vegetables, we weigh them into quantities they should be, and we blend them together, put them in airtight container, and then store in a cool and dry environment. And all you need to do is dissolve it in water, and then you have the base for your soup and your sauce. You can simply add it into a broth and season it as you like, and then you have your soup. Then we have the SourcePort cubes too, for people who like their vegetables very fresh. So we simply blend the vegetables together, we dehydrate it, and then we freeze it. So you buy it frozen, you can pick it up in the store, buy it frozen, and you simply put the cubes into your pot, and then you have your soup base. And the star of the show is the SourcePort itself. Now for me, this is my favorite because it is a ready-made soup. All you need to do, because it comes frozen, all you need to do is simply microwave or reheat it, and you put it over your fish, your rice, noodles, whatever you want to eat is already made. You just put it over it and you are ready to go. Now to the goals of the business. First off, is to provide ease, comfort, and convenience for every individual, every kitchen, especially those with very busy lifestyle, and also to bring affordability using vegetables similar in nutrient composition to fresh tomato and pepper. We also work so hard to improve the flavor of the traditional Nigerian tomato and pepper sauce. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we call on you to action. We call on your support to upscale the business beyond local orders and market from family and friends, to go national and even international. We need support to help make the business a full-blown one that can be registered with NAFDAC and get SON approval. We call on investors and partners to help us expand our production and distribution capacity and break through new market and even major market. And we count on you, ladies and gentlemen, to help this business become the big deal that it actually is. For more information about us, simply contact us via the following numbers or our email, and we look forward to hear from you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much for that presentation. I think right about now we'll take the next person.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Chinazom Eze from University of Nigeria, Nsukka.
Sorry.
I'm here to.
Sorry to
Can
cut
you
you
hear
in.
me?
Yes, we can. Do you want to put it on slideshow so that the screen is bigger? If you
Okay.
go down, there's a button there. Yes, brilliant.
All right.
Great stuff.
Thank you very much. Okay. I'm going to speak utilization of local hydrocolloids. This is a research work that was carried out and is still also ongoing. We use Brachystegia euricoma, which in Igbo language is called Achi, then Deuterium microcarpium of 4, Avzilia africana, Aparata, and Mucuna flagellipes, Upo. These local stabilizers are mostly used in the eastern part of this country as thickeners for soup. So, and you know that now people are very conscious of what they eat. People are trying to turn from going from all these chemicals and exotic stabilizers to trying to use more natural things in their food. And yogurt, as we know, is a probiotic product, a probiotic food that is fermented, is made from milk. And fermented with Streptococcus Thermophilus and Lactobacillus bulgaricus. It's a probiotic product that is very nutritious, and people, almost all the age groups, consume this food. So there is need to use local available stabilizers in order other than the exotic ones such as CMC, pectin, and others that are used for the stabilization to stabilize this product. And that is why we now looked at these local stabilizers that people use as thickeners, and we decided to extract or produce hydrocolloids from them. And how did we do this? We got these, you can see them from the screen. We got these local stabilizers, and we now decided we prepared them, remove the shells, dry them, then mill them into powders. Then we tried to, let me get the next screen. We now did the extraction, the milling extraction. Then we extracted the hydrocolloid using N-hexane and also isopropanol. Then we now got after that, we now dried it in an oven and got the hydrocolloid flakes. Then which we now dried. You can see where we got the hydrocolloids in powdered form. They are now in a more purified form, not just like the powder that people normally use for soup as thickeners. So which we now used to produce yogurt, to stabilize yogurt. So, and you know that yogurt also has a problem of shelf life. It doesn't stay long. And also in Nigeria here, due to erratic power supply, there is need for this product to be in a more convenient form. So therefore, we now decided to produce a freeze-dried yogurt, which will have a longer shelf life and which is going to be also more convenient. A product that is in a dry form that people can actually have on the go. They can actually reconstitute and take anytime they want. So that is why we now use these hydrocolloids to produce this yogurt. As you can see, we can see where we produce the yogurt. We saw when it came out from the freeze dryer in flakes before it was now milled. Then, but the purpose of this, I'm trying to say, because of with the sustainability of what we are trying to say, because of the SDG Goal 9, which has to do with industry, innovation, and infrastructure, we wanted to see how these hydrocolloids perform. And from the extraction yield, when we did the extraction yield for the hydrocolloids, we found out that the offer, which is the Brachystegia euchroma, performed higher, had higher yield compared to the others, followed by Opo, which is Mucuna flagellis, followed by Aparata, then Opo was the last. So the essence of this research was actually to show us that with some of these locally underutilized products, that SDG goes 9, which is innovation, trying to get new things and to introduce it to our industries, because it's going to be, number one, it's going to be cheaper for use because they are locally available and most of them are underutilized, other than using the exotic stabilizers. But in all, at the end of the day, we were able to produce a stabilized shelf-stable freeze-dried yogurt, which was it was very achievable with local hydrocolloids, which compare favorably with exotic stabilizers such as CMC and pectin. Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Thank you. Thank you very much for that presentation, Chinamzo. Chinamzo, is that the right word? Yeah.
Chinazom, yes.
Chinazom. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Without wasting time, I'm over to you. Slideshow, Dr. Dolandin.
All right. Okay.
Okay. It's all right. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Yeah, as you can see, plant-based protein texturization, that's the topic. I'm from University of Nigeria and co-founder of the University of Nigeria All Protein Project. So basically, yeah, from the topic, you can see plant-based protein texturization. So globally, there are challenges related to animal agriculture. I hope you can hear me clearly. Yeah.
Yes, very clearly.
Oh, it's all right. So there are challenges related to sustainability, ranging from animal agriculture, which is environmental challenges, climate change, and issues related to good health, which is we have antibiotic resistance related to animal agriculture due to zoonotic diseases. So we also have challenges, the issue of greenhouse gas emission, which you can see from the statistics we have, like particularly in Nigeria, we have about 13% related to like kind of induced terrestrial biodiversity loss. So we have a lot of challenges related to animal agriculture. So here now, basically in Nigeria, we know we need to develop more technologies or more initiative in order to help advance the issue or kind of mediate or come in between to see how we can produce or develop meat from plants. So actually, we can see that from innovations we know that from time past, we have, for instance, in the mobile world, we have, you can see from here, there are the changes. Like before, we have people using hoses, got to a time where people use some kind of mini machines, and now they can use like car in transportation. So that's to tell you changes occur in terms of trying to see how we can produce what people want, like make something in a better way in order to enable sustainability. And okay, as I was saying, we can make something that people want. That is, we can actually make meat from plants. So how do we do that? There are certain technologies that are put in place. Like as you can see, in plant-based protein products, there are spectrums.
Okay. You know what? While Victor is getting himself together, yeah, there was this and okay, just before we go to that, I think it would be good if we interact with a couple of the presentations that have been that have just been delivered. I have a question for the last speaker before Victor. What's that name, please?
Messi,
if you can remind me, sir. No.
Or is it no? Oh, sorry, Chinazon.
Chinazon. Okay, yeah. So yeah. So Chinazon.
Hydrocolloids.
Yes. I see that offer as the highest, extractive yield, right? That's the highest extraction yield from the graph. To notice, But my question would then be: this extraction yield, was it on solid to solid basis, or after you are able to coagulate the gum from the suspension, or was it after you freeze dried, then you now calculated the yield of the gum from the total material that you started with? Because sometimes we overestimate because of the method that we use in quantifying the gum. And at the end of the day, when you put them to contamination tests, you find out that you are quantifying a lot of starch alongside with the gum. And what gives that fluke observation when you use that same the gum that you obtain to stabilize anything is that starch itself also offers stability. So you might be thinking that the stability is actually coming from the gum that you obtain, whereas it may actually be coming from the contaminated portion of the lot, that is the starch that has contaminated it. So I just want to share with you that I want to know, what method did you use, or the expression that we have on that in that graph, is it on solid to solid basis or on the wet mass? Hello, Chinazon. Okay. While Chinazon is preparing to respond, I see that Professor Adeola Badino is raising up his hand. I've asked you to unmute yourself, Prof.
Okay, thank you, and good day to everyone. From Association of African Universities in Ghana, Accra. It's a pity, I don't know if Shinazo or Chinzo, the last speaker on YouGot, if she's listening, because she could not respond to the first comment. So my comment or questions are also to her directly. So I just want to know if she's with us so that I don't just speak. Or if the organizer want me to continue talking, I will do that. I need directive.
Yeah,
thank you.
Please, Rob, go ahead, because this is recorded and we will share with her. She'll be able to gain from anything that you have to say, or from your question. Hello, Prof. Did you hear me? Hello. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, very clearly. We can hear you.
We're hearing you. We're hearing you. But Prof seems not
Yes,
to be hearing you.
We can hear you, yes.
Okay. I think Prof didn't hear me. But somebody know, if you are hearing me, please, what I said was that you should go ahead with your question or comment. This session is recorded and we'll convey the message to her. She might be able to learn from even the question that you asked. So I would suggest that you please still go ahead. Okay. All right. I've asked you again to unmute yourself, Job Aleke.
Hello? Okay, thank you, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, where are you? Okay, who is talking now? Joe Baleke or who?
It's
All
Chinazon
right.
that is talking.
Chinazon, okay, go ahead. Somebody else is using
Yeah,
your.
I was not able to unmute myself because you muted me.
Oh, okay. Thank God you are here now. Okay, so.
Yeah. Okay, sir. I said it was not on the inside the product. It was when we extracted the for itself. That's solid to solid, not with the whole mass of the product that we did the calculations, sir.
Okay, I thought the graph
after
was
the
that of the
fatting
gum.
with, can you hear me? After the fatting with hexane and also spilling with isopropanol, that and drying it and getting the flakes and then milling. That was what we used to do the calculation for the yield of the gum.
Okay, on the milled okay, on the final milled product.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Before we added it to the product, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that would be the right
calculation based on the quantity of the raw sample we got. That was how we did the calculation.
I was just shocked at the 96%. I was just shocked at the very high strategy. It means almost the entire mass is gone.
Yes, sir. Because we actually defatted. So we removed the fat, we took care of that, then we used isopropanol. Yes, and we used the same quantity for both the starting material for both the archie of another. We used the same starting material, the same kg that we used.
Okay, that's fascinating. Yeah, that product have great potential then if you can give 96 or thereabout %. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm satisfied with your answer. Professor Badino, you're raising up your hand. Yeah, Prof wanted to ask you a question when you are away, so I'm going to just allow him. Please, you have the floor, sir. I think you are muted, right?
Yes, sir, I'm unmuted now.
I mean, Prof Badino, because I could see that he's unmuted, but he's not speaking. Okay, let's add Professor Abimbola Zoma. I asked you to unmute, man. I don't know if he gets to you.
Yes, I've unmuted myself. Sorry, so still to the person with hydrocolloids. I still don't, I really want to appreciate why you need a hydrocolloid for a food product that naturally thickens. When the pH gets the pH of the deuterium level, it thickens naturally. Why do you need a hydrocolloid to thicken it further? What's your statement problem? And another way I was actually looking at it, like somebody has said, most of those hydrocolloids, you need to not just to remove the hydrocolloid, there are some other components that may not. I've used it a lot to process so many things anyway, all those samples you put there. Even that picture seems to be like my picture of the O4. So what I'm wondering is, because the yogurt on its own, if it thickens, you can freeze dry it and it's safe. The pH at which yogurt is consumed is a very safe level, and it doesn't get spoiled readily, as you've actually said. The truth is this, that most of those hydrocolloids you've added will be the source of spoilage for those products, because unless you are talking of freeze drying, you call it freeze dry the yogurt itself, and you have powdered yogurt without necessarily going through the stress of getting this thickness, which now very, very expensive, very, very expensive. So you're thinking of scale up. It may not be too easy. So back to my questions. I still don't understand why you need a thickener, a stabilizer for a food product that is self-preservative and that can readily be moved from the state where it is now to a freeze-dried component that can readily be used. You can equally use starch, which is far, far safer than any of these hydrocolloids. And you're not talking about the aftertaste of those hydrocolloids. You didn't look at those things, did you? Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. The reason why you use the hydrocolloids is that yogurt normally, we have Greek type yogurt, but normal yogurt that you just hand will actually separate. So it's because of that separation that we decide to add the hydrocolloids. Because yogurt is after fermentation and you decide to turn together so that for people to start drinking, there is always waste separation. So that is the problem that we want to take care of. That waste separation is the reason why we added the hydrocolloid in the first place. Then in the other aspect of freeze drying, you know that when you freeze dry a product, it becomes a dry product. And you want to get a product, when you reconstitute this product, your aim of reconstitution is to actually get a product that will also resemble the normal yogurt that you take. So there is need for this addition of this hydrocolloid, so that by the time you reconstitute, you can actually get a thick product that is not watery. That is the essence of the addition of the hydrocolloid. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Sampson. Yeah, we go to UIMC Atobatele now, then we'll come back to question or comment later.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon here. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is UIMC Atobatele, and I'm the founder of YKG Farms. YKG Farms started operation in 2019. We have a plantain plantation in Ogun State of Nigeria, and we process green plantains into plantain flour. So our business models are both the business to business and the business to consumers. We are targeting the elderly homes, the African food store, supermarkets, stay-home moms as a business to business, because we have some of our target audience in this at this particular business model. So then the B2C, we are targeting the health-conscious individuals, people with underlying health challenges like diabetes, ulcer, obesity. So the problems we are solving is the problem of diabetes. Research has shown that unripe plantains contains properties that helps to prevent and manage diabetes very well. So our solution is to produce undiluted plantain flour without adding preservatives or additives. Everything is going to be very natural. We are offering that value chain from cultivating the plantains to processing to packaging it. Okay, so some of our value proposition is we are offering good health, good life. Then we are making our delivery fast, easy payment plan. Then we are also encouraging people to start having alternative snacks like the plantain flour pancakes, the plantain bread, instead of the regular corn flour bread and all of that. So we are encouraging people to like have a healthier alternative, even that they can actually enjoy their favorite snacks or meals by choosing a healthier alternative. Our marketing strategy has been majorly online. We've been marketing majorly online, social media handles, and we are particularly using video marketing so that people can see what they are buying. We show them recipes. We show them how to prepare different delicacies using the plantain flour. Since our inception, we've been able to grow from 220,000 naira annual revenue to we are currently on over 10 million naira. As at the second quarter of 2024, we have passed 10 million naira. So we are looking at increasing our marketing budgets by introducing refer and earn offline marketing, attending seminars, going for conferences so that we can increase our market reach. Some of the innovative character we are going to be using is automating our production processes, because as it is now, we do most of our production manually. So we are looking forward to automating all of our production processes so that we can increase our reach, and meet up with the demand, increase our production and inputs generally. These are some of our team. We have the production manager, the production assistants, and we have other people that work with us that are not on this team. Most of them work on a part-time basis. Okay, so some of our plans is expanding the plantain farm, increasing our paid advert rates, and purchasing of bigger dehydrators so that we can increase our productivity generally. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Victor, Victor, can you unmute yourself now?
Okay.
Good.
It's all right.
Finally. Okay. Dr. Dola, can you help with his slide? Oh, were you sharing your slide, Victor, the other time?
No.
Okay, so yeah. So over to you.
Okay.
And once again, apologies for the challenge we had earlier on. Go over to you, please.
Okay, it's all right. Let me just try and finish up. So as I was saying, there are emerging technologies that we can use to texturize plant-based proteins to as some plant-based or seeds that are rich in protein into meat actually. So from the spectrum, we can see that we can actually use soybean because they contain a very good percentage of protein that we can actually use other non-protein ingredients to texturize and other machines to engineer them into meat or let me say burgers. Thank you. Next slide, please. Next slide.
Yeah,
it's all right. So thank you. We can see here we have protein sources. We have majorly soy protein, pea proteins, wheat protein, and also wheat gluten. So these are protein sources that we can actually harness, and also in addition to some other non-protein sources where we can have some, we have methylcellulose, transglutaminase, and that there are enzymes, some certain enzymes and other thickeners or cross-linkers, which we can actually develop a plant-based meat. So we have some machines available right now, and some they are proposed to have a very good impact in. Can you hear me? They can actually have impact on developing a plant-based meat. So we have extrusion. So extrusion is a very, very good technology in food processing. So majorly a twin screw extruder is being used in plant-based protein in texturizing, in addition to protein and non-protein ingredient, where we can actually produce plant-based meat. So other technology, we have 3D printing. You can see here, we can see some of the instances they make here. There are some kind of crossing, kind of making texturization, develop something that looks like meat. So also we have shear cell technology. We also have other. We just focus on trying to when you've prepared all the ingredients, you freeze, you unfreeze, you freeze, you unfreeze. Through that, you can actually develop something that looks like meat. And also we have electrospinning, which trying to produce a fiber-like structure that looks like meat. So I would like to conclude that these technologies here actually are being used, even though in Nigeria or Africa, it has not, either people have not seen it, or people are not, the technology is so sophisticated. So, but in US particularly, the technology has actually gone far, and people are actually producing plant-based meat, and the global market is actually growing, and the economy in US and Europe actually is.
Thank you so much, Victor.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you very much for your time and
welcome.
your wonderful presentation. Now, the floor is open for interaction and comment. I'm going to ask Professor Badinov first, and then I will take further comment from others. So, Professor.
Yeah, thank you. Quick one. For the presenter on yogurt, Professor Ozoma have mentioned some of the things that I wanted to say, but let me also add that the presenter or the researcher need to check for it's very important, the sensory characteristics of that product before the yogurt is being freeze-dried. So we need to compare it after adding those thickness or the hydrocolloid from the thickness. After adding them, what are the sensory characteristics of the product compared with the control? That is one. Two, after freeze-dried the yogurt, there's also need to do sensory characteristics to be sure that what you want to recommend for people is the same with what they are used to. That is one aspect of it. Number two is that when we talk about yogurt, the lactic acid bacteria that ferment the yogurt must be in the yogurt. There are a lot of products outside there now that are called yogurt, and they are not yogurt because the fermenting organisms are no more there. So the question here is that, does the researcher check for the lactic acid bacteria in the freeze-dried product after freeze-drying? That is one. Number two, on microbial studies, what are the microbial analysis that was done on the freeze-dried final product in terms of the spoilage organism? How long does she or does the team store the product to be sure to confirm what Professor Ozoma said? The additional components, I mean the hydrocolloid, are they not bringing in spoilage organisms to the product? So there's need to do all that. For the woman or the investor on plantain, the plantain project, I just want to advise her that she may need to collaborate with some Department of Food Science and Technology, either polytechnic or universities, and empower students that are doing projects so that they can help her to do some fundamental research on the plantain. I had her talking about value addition to the plantain flour, using it to produce other products. There's need to check, number one, to know the characteristics in terms of the composition, the nutritional composition of those products using plantain compared with what people are used to. Number two, there's need to develop recipe for these different products. And lastly, and she can't do that alone. She needs to invest in some of these students, maybe pay the little money that they will use for the analysis, and she will get the data. It will be win-win. And at the end of the day, she will move up and be happy for what she's doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Badinov, for the comments and also the advice you have provided to the entrepreneur presented on plantain farming business. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure that everybody have learned something today. Do we have any other comment? I thought I saw Professor Akinwade's hand. Oh, yeah, I can see a few hands up there. Give me a few minutes. Yes. So I will call in the order I can see. Professor Bolanle Akinwade, over to you. The floor is yours, ma. And then I'll come back to Beatrice. You can unmute, ma.
Okay, good afternoon from Nigeria. My sincere apology for joining late. I think the presentation I was able to have access to details is the presentation by MEC Atobatele. And I think I will just follow up with what Professor Badino said. I will say congratulations to her, especially that the business is doing very well. Yeah, work on plantain flour, all right. But now we know that the cost is growing, is increasing. I think it will be important to consider use of unripe cooking banana. That one is a cheaper version. Also, use of unripe banana. They are close to having the same character. And as Professor Badino said, what will help your company is to collaborate with some institutions, food science and technology departments there. We have current work ongoing to do lots of comparison among the unripe plantain flour, unripe cooking banana, and unripe banana flour, dark. And also, because there was something on social media sometimes, we are happy if we have people at the other hand that are doing the business. The use of the peel for the flour from the peel, also to make swallow, to make a dough, that was circulated, but it's beyond what we see on social media to do some research on all this. How important, even though they look like food, how much of them are so good to serve as food? So please look into connecting with some institutions to have some of the work done. And as he said, you have to do bits of investment. And at the end of the day, it will be a win-win. So I say congratulations once again and well done. Thank you, the organizers.
Thank you again, Professor Akiwande, for your insightful comment and contribution as well. I'm sure that everyone is benefiting regardless of who has presented. We have great entrepreneurs in the house as well, people with youthful mind who probably want to do something similar in the future. And so some of these comments will be very useful and handy for them. Very quickly, because of time, I'm going to, I can see Momiola Akinlua. The floor is yours, and then I'll come back to Beatrice. Over to you, ma. Mommy, the floor is yours. I need to ask you to your mute quickly. Yes, the floor is yours, ma.
Thank you very much. This has been a very, very interesting. I really appreciate every presenters here. Well, definitely the organizer are doing exactly what I expect them to do. We are happy that AfREN is going higher and impacting the world, as it were. Just a chip on this on the plantain issue. I think that Ms. Yemisi, if you just add to what everybody has said, looking at varietal differences in the plantains, because some yield better and some also have better outcomes. I'm a diabetic, so I know I'm very much involved in use of green plantains in flour in other forms. So maybe you should look at varietal differences amongst other things that have been said. Mainly, I wanted to speak on with the first person that spoke, Chiduka, or I think that's the name, who was presenting on evaporation. I didn't quite get what the presentation was. And I was beginning to feel like maybe because he was the first presenter, he was a bit agitated and kind of wavy in such a way that I didn't quite get the grasp of what he was trying to impact to us. If it could be, you could just raise the issue of what that issue of evaporation is all about, just briefly. And two people spoke on AI, and their presentation were similar because they are driving at similar things. One generally on food preservation production, and the other one was specific. Please, these are very, very, important development in our lives now. It's something that we cannot do without. But I was looking forward to the impact that they propose that this will have in our society, and how they hope to remove the detrimental ultimate effects in our lives. Yeah, everybody, they are speaking about chimazum, hydrocolloids and thickeners. I don't want to belabor that. It's a beautiful presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma. Thank you very much. Very quickly, Olayemi, over to you, please.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Actually, I want to ask a question. So, and it's addressed to Yemisi, the lady who presented about the plantain processing. That's a very great work, and it's fantastic that you're considering going automation in the future, because that means less handling and more food safety and quality there. But my question is, there must have been a lot of plantain peels. So like Professor Akiwande said, that a lot of people are, projecting online to process these peels into flour for swallow, which at the moment we don't know the implications to our health, or maybe it's not yet a research area. So at the moment, I want to know what your company is doing regarding these peels, because presently it's like a waste, and we all are talking about sustainability, waste generation nowadays, regarding because of climate change, and also we want food to be, the food sector also is also talking about waste minimization and circular economy. So I want to know what you're doing presently regarding those your plantain waste, the peels, rather.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you want to respond very quickly?
Let me see.
Okay, if Yemisi, are you there? You want to respond now?
Okay, yes,
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, good.
Okay, okay,
You do the waste.
The waste, actually, I've had people come to me, the plantain peel. I've had a few people like that. They came to me, they said they use the plantain peel. If I'm able to dry and grind the plantain peel and make it a powder form, that they use it as their skincare cream, like skincare products. So I've had people approach me like that. So I'm looking into that, because we have to look for a way to minimize waste, like the last speaker spoke about. So another thing that we use the plantain peel for is for as feeds. We use them as feeds, like the goats, people that are into animal husbandry, they normally use them as feed for the goats. So those are the ways that we are looking at. But the challenge for the first one is, number one, the power supply here, because when I am trying to meet up with the customer's demand for the plantain flour itself, which I am producing, there isn't enough time to go through the processing of the peel again, like processing the peel, drying, and all of those things. So that's the challenge I'm having. Probably if I'm able to, so probably I'll get people sorting that out, so that those things can be sold to people that need them, instead of just throwing them away like that. So I think that's just one of the things I'm looking into seriously. Have I been able to answer the question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, because of time, again, like other people have commented, particularly Professor Kiwande and Obadino, you might want to reach out to some institution who might think can help guide in some of the ideas and how to utilize or valorize this waste for value addition. Because of time, I just want to check on our judges. I hope we are making progress, because very soon we'll be calling upon you to give us feedback and comment, and then we can begin to wrap up the session. Oh, great stuff. So I just have one more person, Beatrice. The floor is yours for question or comment. I don't know. And then Dr. Dola will take over from me. Beatrice, you can unmute yourself.
I want to quickly appreciate the organizers of this AfREN Summit. What I'm impressed about is just is the comprehensive of the slides. Speaking a lot just into 2 or 5 slides is quite enlightening, very insightful and very impressive. So I appreciate the concept that AfREN put into the planning of this summit. The first set of those that did their presentation, the presentation on a blockchain revolution, the young man Abubakar Kabir spoke from India, was quite impressive. I really enjoyed it. But I could also appreciate the one done by Chineye Duru. I can identify with him, because farmers now, they have run away from the farm. So when you talk of the insecurity, especially here in Nigeria, this era, farmers have run away from their farm. So using AI, for automated drone, automated irrigation is the way to go. I really like that presentation, so that even though they cannot go to the farm because of the preceding environment, they can be able to do something on the farm. I also appreciate the presentation on yogurt. A lot has been said about it. There was also one presentation about this plant-based protein texturization. It's a very good one, but currently Many people are very skeptical about consuming such things, so advocacy may be needed. Then lastly, about the plantain flour. You are doing a lot, Madam Oluwayemisi Atobetele. I quite doff my heart for you. It's a very good one. But when you talk about the plantain peel, it's waste of wealth. It could be sold to those that are doing animal feed. It could even be sold to those that are making soap or cosmetics. These are things that can be looked into. And like Professor Akinwande said, and Professor Atobatele said, Professor Obadino said, look into those universities that are studying food science, and even FIRO, which is a research institute, could also help in utilization of the plantain flour. Thank you very much.
Many thanks, Dr. Ladumuyi. I think I've renamed you now on your
device.
Thank you. Great. Yeah, thank you very much for your insightful comment. So now, right about now, we'll hand over to Dr. Dola. I'm not sure if the TISA session will hold again, but Dr. Dola, over to you to carry on from here, and then we can invite the judges. Thank you.
Okay. It's been a long run. I want to say a very, very, very big thank you to all the anchors. It's a learning curve. We can only get better. If connectivity permits. I'd like to just use this moment while the judges are assessing. I'd like to use this moment to just highlight some takeaways from this year's summit. That if you are joining us for the very first time, this is our very, very first mini conference. We call it AfREN Summit. So it is the inaugural edition. And we hope that you have enjoyed the offerings so far. Apologies for any skirmishes that you may have noticed. Each is the ups and downs with the network connection. There are some of these challenges that are beyond us. I like to say that I see research collaboration between business and I see collaboration between research and business, which is one of the cardinal objectives of AfREN. We are all in food sector together. We can't be operating on one hand as researchers, and business needs are yearning for attention, and investors want to come in between. We all need a nest where we meet, and that's one of the purpose of this summit. And we do not want we don't want any limitation to be among us as Africans. That's why we open it up to the continent. On this call, we have people joining from different parts of Africa, and some Africans that are outside the continent. One of the key learnings that we are taking away again this year is that our next conference, we must find a way to include French content in our delivery. Either we are going to explore AI that will be translating on the go, whatever we say, onto French, such that our French participants can enjoy and feel a sense of inclusion in what we are doing. Because there might be a lot of presentation that we're missing out on that would have come from different parts of, from Francophone African countries. So we apologize to you guys on this edition. We shall improve the next edition by God's grace. I also see investment opportunities. As a matter of fact, there are two of these presentations that personally I shall invest in. Yemisi Atobatele, you know that I know your story. I know what even led to you starting this business, but it is beyond the 7 minutes presentation. It's so emotional and at the same time quite exhilarating to see you grow thus far. I'm happy that network did not block you from being seen by people. This session shall be here on our YouTube channel. We're going to cut it into pieces. We're going to cut it into reels. And the plan is to drop it out there. You never can tell who will locate you. Personally, you know that I'm a friend of the house. I'm telling you right now that I'm interested in investing in that end that I've been observed, that waste valorization. That's the part that I love most, because it has more potential even than the products from the way I see it, because I have so much fear for all these powder things that have been sold on the internet. That is not to, demarket your product. But there's a lot of food safety concerns that we need to join you to finalize in your product. And I implore you to please be open to scientists to be able to help you and improve that aspect. All right. We plan to also learn from this to improve the structure and content of our offering. The structure and content of the next year edition by God's grace will be better than this. I also want to promise that we will filter presentation. We will stop taking presentation earlier than we did this year, in order for us to do due diligence to the collections that we have. We would rather have few solid, organic, original contents than having people come here to just review the online content and the online information for us. That is not to despise anyone on Discord or that has presented. But I must say that I observed, just like any of you may have observed too, I observed some internet content that are being reviewed. We didn't plan this conference for review paper to be presented. Our plan will be more spelled out by the time we communicate to participants who are interested in presenting. All right. So the other thing I would like to say is that the judges will come in now to give us names of the presenters who will be going on with awards. These awards have been put together by AfREN members who are dedicated beyond their membership subscription, that want to see African food scientists and African business men and women grow. So they put their money together to offer their token of appreciation for the effort that these presenters are putting into whatever they have displayed here today. We have the most promising idea research category, the most promising research category, second position, the most promising research idea research category, third position. We also have most innovative business model in the business category. We shall be looking into the business aspect in terms of the best pitch presentation among the pitch that we have. We are also going to be offering the award that was sponsored by the mother of the chairperson of this summit. You know, when she spoke with me about the objective of what we are doing, and she fell in love with the fact that we are trying to project Africa to the world. And she says, okay, she would like to reward anyone that's tried to resonate with the theme of this conference. And so we target after her name, we try to immortalize. I don't know if that's the right word because she's still living, but she's a living legend. And so, but we are trying to tag this particular award with her name. She's going to sustain it. So we target Sustainability Champion Award in the research category, and we are going to have it for the first position and second position, as the case may be. Apart from this award, Professor Femi Adebo and Professor Ellen Oyaka have decided to grow the student community by sponsoring two categories of award. Those awards are Student Membership Award, which will be annual membership subscription payment on behalf of the students that they feel have the potential to grow along with AfREN at this summit. And we are hoping to be able to offer two students such a membership award. So they don't have to worry about paying subscription. These two AfREN members will be paying their subscription annually. At this juncture, I'd like to invite Dr. Dolapo Oladiran to please come and anchor the presentation of award, because she's the team lead assessment and of the presentation. So she's leading a team of judges who have been helping us on the go since this summit. I'd like to also mention before she comes in that we have sent in so many links, so many useful links that could connect anyone interested in joining us with AfREN. We've sent in a one-pager. I don't know if Ariola could do me the honors to please send these links as I'm mentioning them. The link to our one-page document that explains everything about AfREN and all the links that you may need to connect with us, either via social media or pick up a membership form or join our Telegram or WhatsApp group, as the case may be. We also send the brochure for this event. You may want to keep it as a souvenir. We'll be happy to be in your home with or on your devices with this year's brochure. We'd like to also announce that we have the brochure in French. That will also be sent across for the viewing pleasure of members from the Francophone countries. I also like to mention that for everyone that registered for this conference, we will send you compressed video of the summit, such that you can relax and then review whatever you may have missed in the course of the proceedings. And we implore you to please do not be a stranger to AfREN and its activity. We in the coming months, we'll have another activity. Not a lecture, not a seminar, but it will be a game show, a time to catch fun. That will be towards the end of the year. And I wouldn't want anyone to miss it. It will be a learning time at the same time, catching fun. Before then, we will have food safety awareness seminars. And the food safety awareness seminar is just to position AfREN as a body that can assist companies to meet their food safety compliance goals. More of that information will be sent into our email because we now have all your emails and we are now your friend. I'd like to thank all the committee members once again. And in case I have opportunity to do my vote of thanks, I don't know if Dolapo is ready. I will come back to thank you all, give you the final word and the plan towards 2025 edition of the conference. Thank you very much for listening to me.
I'm sorry, everyone, for keeping you waiting. Some of our judges had network issues, so I was just really waiting to get all of the assessments. And we have it now, although we're still waiting for one person, but I don't want to keep us for too long. So we'll just go ahead with the results that we were able to get. And I hope that it's a true representation of all of the amazing and insightful research and presentations that we've heard here today. So we have about 4 different categories, like Dr. Adeboye had mentioned earlier. The first one is the most promising idea under the research category. And under that category, we have 3 awards to present. The first person, the presenter who came in first, second, and third. For most promising idea, according to the assessment from our judges, the first position goes to Samuel Insikan Akpan. The second position goes to Chinazom Martina Eze. And the third in that category goes to Chineye Ogechi Duru. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And I must say that we've learned a lot from all of your presentations today. The next category is, okay, I'm not going by what's on the screen. I'm going by what's in my notes here. Sustainability Champion. So Chief Mrs. Selina Chionuma is sponsoring this category, and we are awarding this to 2 people who have reflected sustainability in their presentation. And from the assessments from our judges, the people here again are Chinazom Martina Eze and Chineye Ogechi Duru. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Chinazom Martina Eze and Samuel Insikan Akpan. I'm sorry, just those 2 people. And for the next category is the best presentation overall under the research category. And the best presentation, according to our judges, was by Samuel Insikan Akpan. Samuel is taking all of the awards away today. Now we move to the business category. Under the business category, we have 2 presentations. We have the most innovative business model, and we have the best pitch presentation. For the best innovative business model, the award goes to Mercy Blessed. And for the best pitch presentation, the award goes to Yemisi Atobatele. We want to thank all of our presenters today. Thank you very much for the amazing work done. Thank you for sharing your research with us. Thank you, Dr. Adeboye, over to you. And then we have some gifts for you. We'll reach out to you after the event to know how you want to get your gifts. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Yeah. Without dwelling on what has been said, I want to congratulate all the awardees and winners, as the case may be. The other ones that were not mentioned was the one I earlier talked about, that the membership subscription award. That would not come with immediate award right now, but from their 2025 membership onward to be paid by those sponsors. Okay. And we'll communicate that to those 2 people. I've taken this vote of thanks earlier. I wouldn't want to spend more time on that, but I would like to concentrate on appreciating our donors. The people that donated. They didn't want me to even thank them, but I must thank you immensely. And I promise you that even if we have to bother you, although you considered it a joyful thing to do, you didn't feel bothered. People contributed even more than my expectation within a short period of request. So this is what is going to happen. We will not stop planning right after this one. We will start planning for our sponsorship, and we'll increase our sponsorship drive. We will spread more on the continent, where products from companies located in different parts of the continent will come on the show. During our interlude, the plan is to start having content products being showcased, and we cut that one and put out there as product that we associate with. We would not necessarily speak to the content of any product, but will just be an opportunity for people to showcase their products, if you get what I mean. At least such sponsorship will also add value, because we are likely to have more presentation next year. I would like everybody that demonstrate excellence to be appreciated in a way. So we need more sponsors. And if you have any idea that can improve our sponsorship drive, please do not hesitate to reach out to us on our email. On our brochure, you have the different ways by which you can reach out to us. I want to thank you very much by expressing appreciation for staying with us through till this time. You can't imagine that we have spent 4 hours, but this wasn't the plan. This wasn't the plan, trust me. But with network, you can only know when you start. You don't know when you're going to finish. All right. So thank you for staying through till now. I wouldn't leave this page until I am able to get your buy-in into joining us next year by God's grace. We plan to have a physical conference, everything possible. If God's willing, let me put it out, before our plan works very well, yes, we would like to have him in person, such that this, even if we are not going to have it as hybrid, those that want to join online can join, and those that are able to make it physically, we do. And so that we'll have a richer collaboration and engagement when we run it physically. We'll keep you posted. We have your emails and contact, and we'll keep you posted as the months roll by. Thank you so much, everyone. This is where we draw the curtain of this year's edition. I will unmute everyone now, to say their goodbyes to one another, and let's exchange pleasantries generally in our usual tradition. Thank you once again for coming. Thank you. I will unmute you all now.